welcome back. It is Vic Walker again, and today I'd like to talk to you about having the mum guilt as a business owner. And I've got Linda Attram here with me, and she's the founder of Mothers in Business, and she lives in the UK, so we had to tee up this video.
I am also a mother of 3 beautiful children, aged 12, 14 and 18, and I am a businesswoman. I've been in business for over 20 years. My business is in real estate, so I run a successful property portfolio in the London area, and I have been doing so for the past 20 years. Now, as a mother of 3 and a businesswoman, I understand the challenges that mothers face when trying to run a home and be a great mum and a great businesswoman at the same time. And that's why I created Mothers in Business.
Thank you so much for the article. I think everyone has their own different ways of dealing with mum guilt. Everyone has their own different levels of mum guilt.
And this is a topic that's very close to my heart because I have suffered from mum guilt. I suffered with it when my children were very young, and now that they're aged 12, 14 and 18, I still suffer with it to some extent.
I find that the older my kids are, the more mum guilt I get. As they get older, you have to be there emotionally.
But the way that I deal with it now is very different to how I dealt with it in the past. For me, mum guilt is something that is very common.
Everyone has it.
Whether we want to admit it or not.
Sometimes I'm not as stable as I would like to be, and therefore the mum guilt kicks in.
You know, you've got that last email to get out before you shut down your laptop, and you've got your child waiting patiently for you to read them a bedtime story. And you're just thinking, well, if I just do that last sentence, you know, I'll be able to just do that quickly and then get Johnny off to bed. You know, that one last sentence of the email then turns into something else, turns into a paragraph. Next minute, you're literally writing a book. And then you shut down your computer, you go upstairs, and little Johnny's fast asleep. And you've missed that moment.
I just wish I had cherished those moments. You know, my son used to be such a cuddly little thing. And now, 16, going on 17, he just is so conscious and withdrawn, and, you know, I can't even get near him. Just wish that I had cherished those moments a little bit more. I guess, you know, it's retrospective mum guilt.
As a mother, I know from experience that, you know, it's probably one of the hardest jobs in the world. It's also probably one of the most rewarding jobs in the world as well. And I love being a mum. But I also like to have my independence and to remember that I am still an individual outside of being a mum. And having the independence of having my own business helps me to resonate with that. We often feel guilty for spending too much time on our business, not enough time with our children. Or it might be that we're feeling so tired with the whole day-to-day, running up and down.
You wake up in the morning really early to make their lunch, and you're there to pick them up, and
running the home, doing the washing, doing the cooking, doing the ironing, doing the cleaning, being the nurse, being the teacher, being the doctor, being the social worker, being absolutely everything. And then when your child comes home from school, they're full of energy. They just want to spend lots of time with you. They want to, you know, talk to you about absolutely everything that they've done at school, or they might want some support with their homework, but you're just feeling absolutely shattered. And you're thinking, you know, just give me a break. I just need 5 minutes to myself. That guilt can set in. Should I really be acting like this, or should I just give 100% attention to my child, regardless of how I feel? I feel torn between doing what I have got on my to-do list against my role as a mother. And it can be very challenging to split the two and to decide which takes priority. Your examples of mum guilt might be completely different to what I've shared with you, but at some point in our journey of motherhood, all mothers go through mum guilt, because we're very good at, you know, thinking that we're failing our children or that we're not good enough. And all of those negative self-talk all contributes to mum guilt, whether your children are 2, 22 or 62, you're still a mum regardless. And
there's no handbook for raising children.
It doesn't come with a qualification, a degree, flip chart of information as to how to deal with being a mother or how to deal with mum guilt. You will decide what is the best route forward for you. And what I do in my article is I just present some different types of solutions people can consider. So if you do get an opportunity to read the article, I do hope that you find it useful. We portray our feeling of guilt, thinking that it's going to have this detrimental impact on our children because this is the way that we're feeling. We are very good at creating in our minds what this level of guilt is doing to us and doing to our children, when in actual fact, mum guilt does not affect our children as much as we think. It only affects us. It only affects our well-being. It affects our thoughts. It affects the way that we think about ourselves, the way that we treat ourselves. In property, you have periods of time when you're purchasing property and you have to spend lots of time at the property. And in the early years, when we couldn't afford to have contractors or cleaners to help us out, we, as in me and my husband, would do a lot of the work ourselves. We'd bring our children along with us. They'd sit on a mat on dirty floors whilst we painted or cleaned these properties. And I would feel like the worst mum ever in the world. I'd feel completely guilty, thinking that my kids would probably grow up thinking that I was not a good mum. And my kids didn't think and don't think that at all. In fact, when I talk to them about it now, because they're much older, they see it as fun. But for me at that time, I didn't see it as fun at all. I just felt guilty.
I think children that grows up with a family business can see what the in and outs of a business. They can see how hard you work.
At the same time, they were learning lessons that I didn't realise. They were learning.
They all need to put in because the business is generating an income for their lifestyle.
They're creating a vehicle for financial freedom that not only benefited mum and dad, but also benefited them.
That kind of experience is such a valuable life skill, not something that you could learn from a business school or business subjects in high school.
They now see the benefit of our sort of hard labour, if you like to call it that, at that time. But at the time for me, all I could think of was I'm not a good enough mum because I'm not spending enough time with them. But had I got that out of my head and just realised and actually thought about my kids, did they look unhappy? Did they look sad? Did they ever say to me, Mum, look, I'm not happy. I don't think you're good enough. No, they never, ever, ever said that. I was using my own negative self-talk to talk me into having mum guilt. So if you think about it for yourself, any time that you've thought about the concept of mum guilt, that you feel guilty for not spending enough time with your children, or you feel guilty for a decision that's affected your child, think about it from the child's point of view. Think, has your child complained to you? Have they become disruptive as a result of the action you've taken? Have they got ill? If all of your answers to that is no, then that's a really easy way for you to manage your guilt.
It is really good to show your kids that you can run a business. In the 80s, the movie stars and the supermodels were the idols of the young girls, but today it's the entrepreneurs that are the idol of young girls.
There are certain steps that need to be taken. So my kids will then be inspired to take those steps if they choose to, but they won't be trapped in this cycle of me constantly feeling guilty for being not a good enough mum. So it's down to me and it's down to you to change that cycle out, because if you don't change it, you will continue a cycle of that behaviour. You'll continue a cycle of that negative self-talk, but that will also cascade through to your children because they will think that that's normal. As mothers, we're in pivotal positions to inspire and empower our children with positive self-talk and show them what they are capable of doing what they can achieve. And if we do more than just talk at them to inspire them, but we actually do and show them what we can do, we will inspire them tenfold. But if we show them that we're scared and that we're concerned and that we're worried and that we don't think we're good enough, guess what? That's exactly what they're going to do when they have their children.
It's nice to have your daughter be proud of you because you own a business. My mum is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is not a dirty word anymore. Thank you so much, Linda, for chatting with me about mum guilt. It's been really nice creating this video with you, and you know, living so far away from each other in different countries, it's nice to be able to connect online with another mother in business. And you're doing great stuff with the group. I'm seeing lots of involvement there and lots of mums sharing each other's ideas, supporting each other, and that's what it's all about. We need to all support each other. Thanks a lot.